There's no way. Look though, look. Players like this come around once, sometimes in our lifetime. There hasn't been
once in a generation, certainly.
But no player in NBA, in WNBA history, has had to deal with this.
The one thing I just don't like, and I don't care what people say, I feel like there's a lot of hate on Caitlin Clark, and I think because she's white.
When NBA legends speak, people listen, not because they have to, but because they've seen it all: championships, controversy, and greatness up close. So when those same legends start weighing in on Caitlin Clark, you know the conversation has reached a whole new level. This isn't about PR-approved compliments. It's about unfiltered, sometimes uncomfortable truths. What happens when legends don't just praise a player, but call out the league by name? When figures like Magic Johnson, Charles Barkley, and George Gervin step in, siding with Caitlin and addressing the hate directly, you know something has shifted. These aren't bloggers or analysts. They're the same people who built the league, and now they're calling it out. Their words aren't just praise. They carry pressure. Pressure on the WNBA, on the media, and on players who have treated Caitlin as a target rather than a teammate. If the league doesn't respond, it risks losing the one thing it's been chasing for decades: real, lasting relevance. They're not just observing. They're comparing, naming names, and setting standards. Some are calling Caitlin the Tiger Woods of women's hoops. Others claim that if she isn't on the court, no one is watching. And many are confronting the hate directly: race, jealousy, bitterness, issues that nobody wanted to address until now. What Magic, Barkley, and Kevin Garnett reveal next is the kind of truth that could shake the league to its core. Jeff Teague doesn't speak like a media professional. He speaks like your cousin who just watched the game and has something to say. When the topic of Caitlin Clark came up, he didn't give a polished, prepared statement. He gave a reality check.
She the best.
She's the best ever, bro. I don't care, bro. She's the best ever, bro.
So she gonna be like LeBron with the stats.
Ain't nobody going to watch basketball if she ain't playing. That one line says more than half the hot takes floating around right now. Jeff Teague wasn't guessing. He wasn't exaggerating. He was stating the truth. And it stung. Think about that. A former NBA All-Star just admitted that one player in the WNBA is the reason people are tuning in. Teague didn't say it to boost her ego. He said it because he's been around long enough to recognize true star power. And Caitlin Clark has it. She's not just raising viewership. She is the viewership. And then he doubled down. Teague didn't just praise Caitlin Clark. He anointed her.
When I was in Indy, I didn't care about that. The only thing I remember about Indy is when I was leaving Cambridge Arena in the loading dock, Caitlin Clark walked right by me, and I froze. I didn't say hello to her. How about that? My favorite basketball player outside of Clay was right there in front of me. There she was, and I said, no, I can't do it. But getting back to your question, you're right. That's what I remember most about Indiana. Caitlin Clark was right there next to me.
Let's slow that down. This isn't casual barbershop talk. This is a grown man who played at the highest level, putting Caitlin Clark in GOAT conversations just 2 years into her professional career. And it's not just about numbers. It's about what those numbers mean. Teague sees the game trending toward her. He's not predicting success. He's predicting dominance, the kind you measure in box scores, banners, and billion-dollar contracts. What makes this hit even harder? He wasn't smiling when he said it. He wasn't joking. He believed every word. Teague doesn't hand out compliments lightly. This is the same guy who once said he didn't think Kawhi Leonard was that good after guarding him. He keeps it brutally real. So when someone like Teague says Caitlin Clark could be the LeBron of women's hoops, you stop and pay attention. And the next legend we hear from didn't even need to speak to show how big Caitlin's become. Michael Thompson is a 2-time NBA champion and the father of one of the greatest shooters ever. He's been around stars his entire life. On the court, in locker rooms, in tunnels. So when he tells you something about Caitlin Clark, you pay attention.
They're going to be tested by these incredible women who've been in the league for a long time. Caitlin is the most popular WNBA player, but she's not the best at this time. Just like Larry and I were not the best when we entered the league. We became the best later on by our play. Caitlin still has to play great to become the best WNBA player.
He didn't choke in front of Michael Jordan. Didn't freeze around Magic. But Caitlin Clark walks by, and he's speechless. That's not a compliment. It's awe. Because Michael isn't reacting to just a good player. He's reacting to a force, something cultural, something that makes grown men forget what they were going to say. She's not just playing in the WNBA, she's reshaping it. And when a guy who raised Klay Thompson says Caitlin is his favorite player, that's not hype, it's confirmation. She's cracked through every level of the basketball world. Men's, women's, fans, players, and now legends. Just when you thought the respect couldn't get any bigger, one of the biggest names in NBA history gave her a challenge and a crown. Magic Johnson knows exactly what it means to carry a league. He did it with style, under pressure, with enemies watching and fans following. So when he speaks about Caitlin Clark, he isn't offering compliments, he's offering context.
Now, what I would love Caitlin to do is get up one time and then just slap the out of her.
That's not hate, that's a standard. And coming from Magic Johnson, it's actually a compliment, because he's not just saying she's popular. He's saying her path is already mirroring the greats, like him and Larry Bird. Caitlin isn't being judged on a different scale. She's being measured against legends now. That's how big this is. The best part? Magic isn't writing her off. He's saying, keep going. You've got the stage. Now take the crown. But not every legend kept it that calm. One Hall of Famer said what a lot of fans have secretly wanted to hear. Reggie Miller has never been shy about speaking his mind. One of the coldest shooters and trash talkers in NBA history, Miller is used to getting in people's heads. So when he saw what Caitlin Clark's been dealing with, he didn't suggest more patience. He suggested violence.
Said he loved Caitlin Clark, but, quote, she needs to wait her turn. Do you agree with the idea that great players, no matter how great they are, need to wait their turn? This was from Ben.
Hey, first of all, let's start off with Shaq. You ain't wait your turn.
And that's not even a joke. It's a line filled with frustration, not from Caitlin, but from Reggie Miller himself. He sees what's happening. The constant hits, the flagrant fouls, the strange silence from the league and other players. And he's saying enough is enough. When you've got a star carrying your ratings, bringing in fans, and raising the profile of your sport, you protect her. Period. The fact that nobody has is exactly why Reggie is speaking out. Not to create chaos, but because it might take one bold action to finally wake people up. Someone else who knows exactly how to deliver a message like that just happens to be a 7-time NBA champion. Robert Horry doesn't say much, but when he does, it's cold, calculated, and real. So when Shaquille O'Neal said Caitlin Clark needs to wait her turn, Horry didn't hold back. He didn't defend Shaq or ease into it. He blew the whole idea up with one sentence.
Players like this come around once, sometimes in our lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
There hasn't been
once in a generation, certainly.
But no player in NBA, in WNBA history has had to deal with this, right?
What?
What she's dealing with.
What?
Like,
what is she dealing with?
Fouling from day one already, but she's been crowned. I mean, she's already, nobody, who was the face of the league in the first few years of the WNBA?
Straight up. That wasn't just a comeback. It was a call out to everyone who thinks Caitlin Clark should slow down or pay her dues before earning respect. Corey High isn't buying it. Not when the league is already profiting off her. Not when she's the reason the spotlight is even on. If anything, she's earned more in months than some players did in a decade. And High knows it. He's seen stars rise, he's seen greatness develop, and what he sees in Caitlin isn't something that needs to wait. If that wasn't clear enough, Paul Pierce took it even further. He highlighted what Caitlin is facing right now. Challenges no other player has ever dealt with. Pierce knows pressure. He's played through it, lived in it, and thrived under it. But when he looks at Caitlin Clark, he sees a level of pressure that even he never had to carry. And he didn't just say that casually. He broke it down with a kind of respect that can only come from someone who's lived it.
It's a privilege too, though. It's a privilege, though. It's a privilege to be in a position where others are hating on you. And when others are hating on you, that means you're doing something right. You know what I'm saying?
That pause, that stutter, that's Paul Pierce searching for precedent and not finding any, because there is none. Caitlin Clark didn't just enter the league. She became its focal point overnight. Endorsements, ratings, headlines, expectations. And every single player, veteran or not, is watching her every move. Pierce knows what it's like to be crowned too early. He knows the heat that comes with being next. But Caitlyn is dealing with that and a whole lot more. Race narratives, locker room jealousy, league silence, and endless cameras. He didn't say she's perfect. He didn't say she's done it all yet. But what he made clear is this. Nobody's ever been hit with this much, this fast, and she's still standing. And if that still wasn't enough, Kevin Garnett came through and made it spiritual. KG doesn't play the politics game. He doesn't care who's offended, and he sure doesn't sugarcoat the truth. So when he spoke about Caitlin Clark, he did what only KG can do. He made it raw, real, and personal.
I think it's reprehensible what they're allowing some of these players to do. Anybody that does something flagrant to this young lady for what she's brought to the game should be suspended and fined big time for doing that.
And with that, Kevin Garnett flipped the whole Caitlyn's being hated narrative on its head. Most people see the backlash, the fouls, the cold stares, and ask, why is this happening? But KG sees it and says, good. He knows that hate only comes when you're a threat. Caitlin Clark isn't just a player. She's a walking disruption to the old way of doing things. She's making money move, media move, culture move, and the hate? That's just proof it's working. KG has been that player before. The one with a target on his back, the one opponents don't want to see succeed. He's not giving Caitlyn sympathy. He's giving her the game. He's telling her what every legend learns eventually. If they're not mad, you're not doing enough. Then came a legend who took it even further. Not just about haters, but about consequences. Rick Barry didn't just call it wrong. He didn't dance around the topic or tiptoe. He went straight for the jugular. While some former players are only now admitting Caitlin Clark is facing unnecessary contact, Barry went a step further and demanded action.
You know, think about it, y'all. I mean, you know, we're dealing with imperfect people. I mean, and, you know, when you look at it, they don't know the value that she's bringing for all of them. She bringing, they flying private planes now. They went flying private before she came. They on major networks now. They weren't doing that. See, she remind me of Tiger Woods for golf.
Yes.
He changed the paycheck. Find somebody, unions, making this an issue for these girls to say like, man, we need another Caitlin Clark if we're going to be able to get all these benefits because they didn't have it before she got into the league.